The weather outside might be frightful, but the hockey will indeed be delightful. Good afternoon, hockey fans, and thanks for joining us here on a special presentation of SEC Sports. I'm David Schuyler, sports producer for Suburban Community Channels, and on my camera for me today is Steven Adams running camera for me, and we have a special presentation of the Matamidi Zephyrs boys hockey team taking on the Delano Tigers. Matamidi coming into the game ranked number 3 in Class A. Delano unranked, but they have a number of 1-point losses to their name, and we are underway, starting things out here at the St. Croix Valley Rec Center in beautiful downtown Stillwater. Starting off for the Delano Tigers is at left wing they have Adam Brown, center Tyler Selstad, and on the right wing Brad Pinoniemi. And for the at left defense Karl Halonen, right defense Jack Keranen. In goal, goaltender Thomas Huotari. Countering for Matamidi, they're starting off with their big line of Peterson at left wing, Duxon at center, and Johnson at right wing. Metz and Newbeck on the defense, and of course Ben Dardis in goal. Ben Dardis, you will remember last year carrying the Zephyrs throughout basically the entire season, leading them through the section tournament into state, where they went on to win state. And this year he's been putting out spectacular numbers for the Zephyrs as well. Lots of back and forth action fast here early, going down into the Matamidi end. Grant Dardis there picks it up and brings it back out to the, sends it around out to the neutral zone. Going into the corner there to get it for the Zephyrs is Drew Terry. But the Tigers pick it up. Paulson brings it behind the net for them. But that's stolen away and carried out to center ice by Ryan Berglund. Turnover there in the neutral zone. The Tigers take it, swing it back the other direction, and it gets tossed down behind the net of Ben Dardis. Dardis, as mentioned for the Zephyrs, has had a solid season thus far, putting up a 2.00 goals against average and .935 save percentage. On the flip side for the Delano Tigers in goal, Thomas Huotari, the junior for the Tigers, has a 4-5-0 record, 2.02 goals against average, and a 90% save percentage. Matamidi tosses it down into the Delano zone. The Tigers look to get it out back very quickly. So Metz, the captain for the Zephyrs, takes it behind the net, cycles it back around to Newbeck, who makes a dangerous pass up the middle. And then it ends up back behind the Delano Tiger net. Picked up there by Duxon. Duxon tosses it back around. Defense pinches there, couldn't quite tell who got the hit. The students are all in the way. Interesting thing about today's game, typically the fashion for the fans for the Matamidi Zephyrs has been they get 2 tickets per player to the game. So it's been the parents that have been in attendance. But this is a very special senior day. So what the parents did for the Zephyrs is they gave up all of their tickets to the fellow senior students of the Matamidi Zephyrs. So all of the students in attendance are seniors at Matamidi, and it is the entire Matamidi side of the bleachers that are occupied by students only. Puck gets carried in behind the Matamidi net, brought back out to center there by Doggett, I believe. I couldn't quite tell the number. Yes, Sean Doggett. Brought back out to center, now sent back all the way across. Dumped in behind there by Johnson. Top line for the Zephyrs, back out on the ice. Shot there from the point by Haycraft is blocked and turned over the other way for the Delano Tigers. Brought now behind the net by Grant Dardis. Flipped up off the boards and back out to center. The Tigers will regroup in their end. Picked up there by Colin Lommel. The third line defensive pairing now in for the Tigers. Pass up to the point was blocked out in front. Thus far, no shots have gotten through. We are coming up on just 5.5 minutes into, or 4.5 minutes, excuse me, into the game, and we get an icing, and we still have yet to see an official shot on goal. There have been a number of shots that have been blocked on both ends, but nothing has gotten quite through yet, so no tests for the goalies quite yet. The Delano Tigers coming out of the Wright County Conference. I've been at SEC for almost 2 years now, and this is the first time, I believe, that I've covered anybody from the Wright County Conference. A number of the other schools there: Orono, Hutchinson, Mount West Tonka, Holy Family, New Prague, Litchfield, Dassel, Cokato, and Waconia. And the Tigers currently have a 3-4 record in their conference. But don't let that deceive you, because a number of their losses were by only 1 goal. Looking over their schedule, the past few games that they've had, they matched up against... Oh, that's Mahtomedi's schedule. Here we go. They matched up against Hutchinson, lost by 1 goal. Orono lost by 1 goal. Holy Family, Breck, all 1-goal losses, and then they turned around and pummeled Litchfield, Dassel, Cokato, and Mount West Tonka by 7-1 and 7-2 scores. So the Tigers certainly have no lack of firepower. They get a lot of productivity from their top right wing, Brad Pinoniemi, who's got 9 goals, 4 assists for 13 points in their 9 games on the season thus far. That shot went past Dardis behind the net. Couldn't quite find the goal yet. Still no shots on goals recorded. Everything has either missed the net or been blocked. Puck comes picked up now by the neutral zone. Going through the neutral zone fast is Peterson, flying down the left wing. He'll take it carried in behind the net. Out behind Huotari. Puck there gets carried out into center by the Tigers. Brought up by Adam Brown. He tries to get a shot. That's blocked out front. Kid trickles through. That could be dangerous. But it's cleared out there by Adam Johnson. Johnson has been the Zephyrs force to be reckoned with on their side of things. I feel like he's our player to watch almost every time we cover the Mahtomedi boys, but he just keeps producing for them. 8 games played, 7 goals, 7 assists for 14 points. 1 of those goals on the power play and 1 assist on the power play. He's got 1 of the 3 Zephyr power play goals on the season. Puck now being carried out to the top of the blue line by Golenshin. That one didn't quite get through. Blocked out front, goes down behind. Carried to the corner now by the Zephyrs. Berglund chases behind the net, comes back around, and he'll get pinned into the corner there by Colin Pettit for the Tigers. Pettit and Berglund doing battle in the corner. Puck comes out to neutral ice. Now rushed through by Dardis, coming in hot, gets a shot on goal and saved there by Huotari. So that's really the Zephyrs' first great chance at getting a shot and testing Huotari. The first shot by either team. 7 minutes into the game, excuse me. I was thinking NHL time there for a second. 7 minutes into the game and we get our first shot on goal. Kind of tough to see things developing down here on this side corner of things. All the students are standing. We are certainly happy for the students' attendance, as they normally wouldn't be. But we'll do our best to keep on top of what's going on there. Puck carried now behind the net and reversed for Dardis. Grant Dardis carries it up, gets sent up to the top. Shot goes down, saved by Ben Dardis. Look at the top now. That shot is blocked. That was Cole Schmidt putting on a shot for the Tigers. D&E pass to him, gets brought back out to neutral zone. Schmidt will flip it around and dump it back in. Brought now, shot on goal by Tyler Selstad, and that one is saved by Ben Dardis. First shot for the Tigers there from the low right wing. A little bit of a tricky save for him, though Dardis was up to the task. Now we'll roll out their line of Will Brown, Braeden Collings, and Bruce Halonen. Zephyrs doing a little passing back and forth behind the net. That's Doggett there, gets it out. Chasing up, big hit there laid on by, didn't quite catch the number. That's Dylan Duxon, senior forward for the Zephyrs, laying on the heavy hit in the middle. Not afraid to throw his weight around. Puck now jostled the middle a little bit. That's dangerous. Picked back up by Ethan Peterson there and sent back out to the middle. Zephyrs will regroup. Dardis puts it behind the net for Owen Herod. He'll pass to his D partner, Doggett. Oh, dangerous turnover there. Shotgun goal. Couldn't quite get stuffed into the net by Halonen. That was a close one there for the Tigers. Tigers will regroup, change lines and dump it in. Huckins picks up behind the net there. Couldn't quite make out the number from this distance. Centering pass, and that's ricocheted up and into the stands. The Zephyrs coming into this game, a record of 5-3-0. In the Metro East Conference, they only have a record of 1-2. They've been playing quite the non-conference schedule to the start of their season. Haven't had a lot of matchups with Metro East Conference foe, but have faced the likes of Benilde St. Margaret's, Hudson, and Breck for non-conference opponents. So certainly not a schedule to be laughed at. It's been tough for the Zephyrs. They do have 3 losses on the year out of their 8 games, but those 3 losses were to Hill Murray, and Benilde St. Margaret's. Hill Murray being ranked in AA and winning the AA state championship a year ago. Matamidi, of course, winning the single A state championship. Coach Poschel looking on for the Matamidi Zephyrs in his 24th season. On the Delano side of things, head man behind the bench is Coach Garrett Van Bergen. Wasn't able to find much on Van Bergen online, but he was able to lead these Tigers to the state tournament a year ago out of Section 2A. Zephyrs coming out of 4A. As we get a chance here, shot put on there by the Tigers. Paulson gets directed up behind the net behind Dardis. A year ago, the Zephyrs and Tigers matched up in the State A quarterfinals at the Xtile Energy Center in March. Matamidi came away with a 5-2 victory there. Adam Johnson got one of the goals in that game, and Zephyrs outshot the Tigers 34-20. So looking for a repeat performance here, and the Tigers are coming in looking for a bit of revenge. These teams definitely don't typically match up during the regular season, but when you win the state championship, I gotta think just about every school is gonna be reaching out and saying, hey, we wanna play you guys to prove that we're the best now. The Tigers turn around and managed to send it down into the Zephyr zone, picked up there by Grant Dardis. He'll pass it back around the net. Picked up there on the wing by Haycraft, leaves it off for Johnny Grove. Sent back now behind the Zephyr bench, flipped out to center, and the Tigers there will regroup. They grab it and toss it back in. Shots on goal thus far, the Tigers have 4, the Zephyrs only having 1. So lots of back and forth action. Nobody's really had a good offensive zone presence here as we get a rush down the ice from the Zephyrs. Shot on goal from Charlie Drag? Steered aside by Huotari. Tigers now turn around and send it back down deep into the Zephyr zone. Picked up there behind the net by Grant Dardis. He'll send it back around. Try to flip it up. Grant Dardis can't quite steer it out to the middle. Heading behind the net to pick it up there, Cav Brunner for the Zephyrs, and he's helped out by Dylan Duxon. Duxon doing battle there with a couple of Tigers. Sent back up the left wing now and carried out to center. Rushing into the Tiger zone is Grant Dardis, but he is offsides. So as mentioned a year ago, these two teams matching up in the state tournament. Section 4A for Matamidi, Section 2A for Delano. The Zephyrs beating Tartan in the semifinals of sections and then beating South St. Paul to get to the state tournament. The Delano Tigers out of 2A beat Armstrong Cooper in the championship game there 3-2. They beat Breck in the semifinals 4-2. Went to state, and the two teams were the 4 and 5 seed in the first round of the state tournament. Matamidi, of course, making their famous run, knocking off number 1 Warroad and then knocking off Hermantown to win their first ever state championship a year ago. Puck now carried out to center. To try a centering attempt there from the Zephyrs. Gets steered aside of the corner. Almost dangerous. Didn't quite get all the way through. Puck now sent up the far side by the Tigers. Carried out to center. but turned over very quickly as Duxon gets it, sends it back in for the Tigers. Or prefer the Zephyrs. Tigers carry out to center now. Rushed into the zone. Bringing it in is Pinoniemi. Pinoniemi dumped it off so the Tigers can get a change. Puck's looking for the long shot out to middle there is the Zephyrs. Dumped into the zone by Glenchen. Chasing after there for the Tigers is Pettit. Tigers now bringing it into the zone. Get a shot on Dardis. Can't quite get it to go. Carried up behind the net now and brought out to center. Dumped all the way into the Tiger zone. Chasing down there for the Zephyrs is Haycraft. Getting a little bit of help with the Tigers. Pounce on it quickly and bring it back out to center now. Little D-to-D action for the Zephyrs. Carried up to the red line and dump it in. Tigers pick it up behind the net there. That's Pettit centering it out. Couldn't quite connect on a pass, so the Zephyrs get it and toss it right back in for the little dump and chase action. Long stretch pass to the middle. Tigers bring it out. Pass it. Lead pass. Breakaway chance here for the Tigers, and he fans on it. Collings couldn't quite pull the trigger. Big chance there for the Tigers, but they couldn't connect on the shot. And play resumes. Bringing it out now to center for the Zephyrs. Charlie Drag. But he turns it over. And Coppin brings it back in for the Tigers. Gets across the red line, chases it, brings it in. 3-on-2 if they hurry, but there's a good defensive play there. Bringing it back in on the far side now for the Tigers is Schmidt. Schmidt gets a shot down to Dardis, and Dardis makes the save. 3:05 to go here remaining in the first. 7 shots on goal recorded for the Delano Tigers. Still only 1 shot that's made it to the net for the Zephyrs. Coming to the draw now for the Tigers is Selstad. And on the other side, Duxon for the Zephyrs. One by Zephyrs carried out now. 2-on-2 coming in. Trying to get to centering pass to Peterson, but couldn't quite get there. Tigers will control now. Carrying it across the red line, the blue line, get a shot, and that is deflected up into the netting. The top line for the Tigers have accounted for 34 of the Tigers' points in 8 games this season. Adam Brown, 3 goals, 8 assists. Tyler Selstad, 5 goals, 5 assists. Brad Pinoniemi, 9 goals, 4 assists. I think we had a false start there on the draw, so with another attempt, the Zephyrs win it, but quickly pouncing on the puck there is Selstad, and he'll track it down behind the net in the far corner. Attacked there by Metz. Centering attempt broken up there by Peterson. Carried out now by the Zephyrs on the close side, coming in with a head of steam, tries the centering attempt as Duxon couldn't quite get it to go. Nobody clicked at the point now. Long shot, scores! Matamidai scores first, and then it was Tony Newbeck, the senior defenseman from the point. The puck was kicked around a little bit in the zone. Centering attempt couldn't quite go, but it came all the way around the zone to the top. Found its way to the stick of Newbeck. He rifles it from the point, and it hits the bar and goes in. So the Zephyrs get on the board with 2:15 remaining in the period, hoping to carry the momentum into the locker room. The Tigers now looking to bounce back. Pressure the Zephyrs. Centering attempt. That was Oja with the attempt. Couldn't quite get it through. Or Oja. But that was a real close centering shot from right in the center of the ice between the circles for the Tigers. Quickly back down the ice as the Zephyrs. A couple of hits being thrown around there by Haycraft. Centering attempt, and they score! Just like that, back-to-back goals for the Zephyrs, and it is a 2-0 lead with 1:28 to go. So the Zephyrs get on the board, again, number 7, Ryan Berglund, the senior forward, lighting the lamp for the Zephyrs. Barely had time to put a sentence together, and just like that, the Zephyrs rush down the ice, getting centering attempt, and Berglund stuffs it in. So that's 2 goals in a matter of 30 seconds for the Zephyrs. First, it was Newbeck from the point, and then it was Berglund from right out in front of Huotari, making it 2-0 for the Zephyrs. Picking up the puck behind the net now is Grove for the Zephyrs. He'll send it back around. Another centering attempt. Charlie Dragg couldn't quite pull the trigger on that one. Puck gets brought out to the point. Tied up there in front of the net. Tigers looking to get it out and send it down, and they will, and we get an icing. Well, 1 minute remaining in the period now as the faceoff is won by the Tigers and carried out to center ice. Zephyrs gain control there in the corner. Bring it out to the point. Couldn't quite be handled there by Tony Newbeck, the first goal scorer for the Zephyrs. So he will turn around and fire it behind the net. Picked up there by the Tigers, who bring it out to center. Puck gets dumped in there behind the net. 5 seconds to go, and that will just about do it for the first period. Quick shot is turned aside by the Zephyrs. And there you have it. The end of the first period. Shots on goal for the period. For the Tigers, 7. For the Zephyrs, only 3 shots listed on net, and 2 of them found the back of the net. First goal for the Zephyrs coming off the stick of Tony Newbeck, an absolute rifle from the point, off the post and in. 30 seconds later, with 1:28 to go in the period, it was Ryan Berglund who found himself in front, gathered the puck, and tapped it in. 2-0 lead for the Matamidi Zephyrs. We'll be back after the intermission for the second period here on SEC Sports. back, SEC sports fans, for the start of the second period. Matamidi Zephyrs leading the Delano Tigers 2-0. 2 goals for the Zephyrs coming with under 2.5 minutes to play there in that first period. First goal off the stick of Tony Newbeck from the point. And then 30 seconds later, Ryan Berglund was camped out in front of Tommy Huotari. Got a nice pass thrown his way and was able to stuff it in. So as we get ready to drop the puck here in the second period, the Zephyrs roll out their top line of Duxon, Johnson, and Peterson. Countering on the other side, top line for the Tigers, Selstad, Pinoniemi, and Brown. The Zephyrs quickly bring the puck out to center ice, and a quick shot right away thrown on there by Adam Johnson, and the save is made by Huotari. Apologies for not having the clock. We ran into a few technical difficulties. I'll do my best to keep you up to date as we go along. Face off now to the left of Huotari. One there by the Tigers. Brought back, and they try the fly play out to center. Used to run that when I played high school hockey back in the day. That's a little Pat Griswold action right there. Shout out Pat Griswold, coach of Holy Angels, my coach at Minnehaha Academy. We ran that play all the time off the draw, where if you win the draw back into the corner, the defense throws it off the far blue line, hoping to find the guy streaking out to center, and then he'd carry it in on a breakaway. But the Zephyrs sniffed that out instantly. Nothing coming of it, and instead icing is called on the Tigers, so we get the face-off back in their zone. Zephyrs maintain control, sent back around. Shot by Johnson, tipped out in front by Duxon, steered aside. Carried back out to the top now by Peterson. Peterson with the long shot. That hit a stick out front, and tried to bring it out to the center, but it's held there by the Zephyrs. Turned and thrown in, and Peterson touched up on the wrong side of the blue line, so that will be offside for the... From what I could tell, both teams there in the first period constantly rolling out all of their lines. Didn't seem to see too much of the 1-2 action. Probably won't see that a whole lot until the third period if things stay close. But it's been nice to see names that I haven't seen before from the Zephyrs that are getting out there and getting a bunch of action a whole lot. Puck now carried into the corner by the Zephyrs. That's Gulenshin picking it up. Berglund throws it down, and it appears that we will have our first penalty of the game. Couldn't quite make out what the call was. Roughing will be called here on the Tigers' Jesse Peterson, so he will get the gate for the first penalty of the game. No penalties coming. Very clean first period from both teams. Peterson getting the gate. So the Zephyrs will roll out their power play unit. On the season, the Zephyrs coming into this game don't exactly have the best of power play numbers, as they are 3 for 22 on the season, which is good for 13.6%. On the flip side, the Delano Tigers, I don't know if I was reading this right when I looked it up, but according to the Hockey Hub, their penalty kill comes at a 91.7%. 22 for 24 on the penalty kill. They've only given up 2 power play goals the entire season. Spectacular numbers right there as they get a shorthanded shot, and it is steered aside by Ben Dardis. Carried up now, here comes Johnson. It appears the power play unit for the Zephyrs as Johnson got a shot there that couldn't quite be handled by Huotari. Brought out to the point now. Metz brings it down, throws it low, shot on goal, couldn't quite get through. Brought back up to the point now as Newbeck chases into the corner. Things get a little shaken up for Poschel here as we get onto the power play, as Newbeck's camped out in front of the net. He's listed as a defenseman, So they want to just get the big body up there looking for the screen as it almost worked there. Couldn't quite tip it through, but the save is made by Huotari. One-time opportunity there from JD Metz. Couldn't get all the way through. Charlie Drag now sends it to the far side. Metz with the one-time opportunity. Saved there by Huotari. 15 seconds to go in the power play. Another shot gets blocked out in front. Metz will walk it in, go far side, look for the one-timer, gets it in, the save is made, goalie didn't know where it was. Puck is shot out and nails the ref there. He looks a little shaken up. I hope he's okay. And that will do it for the power play. So the Tigers 1 for 1 on the power play tonight, 0 for 1 on the penalty kill, 0 for 1 are the Zephyrs as they come back in with the momentum from that power play and generate a chance right away. A lot of offensive zone time naturally carrying over from that power play, but still nonetheless you like to see it after that first period. Really the only offensive zone time the Zephyrs had. They scored on both of them, and even those were rapid succession. It's not like they were hanging out in the Tiger zone for long amounts of times. As the puck comes up to the point here, sent in, save is made by Huotari. It was thrown there on net by Brunner. We get a little pushing and shoving after the fact. Nobody's gonna go. They're just saying hi. Asking them what hockey's like here in the cities. Tigers coming from up north. Just showing them a little northern hospitality. From what I can tell, having covered the Zephyrs here for a couple of years, they aren't exactly the most physical type, but they'll throw their weight around when they need to. They play more of a fast game, up and down the ice very quickly, lots of clean passes, lots of shots, and not so much relying on the physicality. Maybe as much a team as you'd see like St. Paul Johnson, who loves to throw their weight around, also coming out of Section 4A. My mother's gonna kill me for saying physicality. As the Zephyrs move down the ice now, Golenshin gets it, spins, nice pretty move, tosses it back behind the net, picking it up there for the Tigers, Jesse Peterson. He'll carry it back around as we have 12:30 remaining here in the second period. Pass across for the Zephyrs. Shot there from Wolfsfeld, couldn't quite get through. Now up to the point, Newbeck winds and fires. And that one is steered aside behind the Tiger goal. Tigers will look to regroup. And Newbeck just tosses it back down. The Zephyrs complete the change and roll out the new lines here as the Tigers get it to center ice. Selstad gets it in deep for the Tigers. This is their first time in the Zephyr zone this period, I do believe. They really haven't had much as they try to center it. And it is picked up at the point there. Shot on goal, didn't quite get through. Steered behind the Zephyr net. Great block there from the Zephyr defense, locking things down, centering it down all the way across to the far side. Couldn't quite get through. Another shot on goal there. Pinoniemi looking for the rebound, but Dardish shuts it down and doesn't let much go through. Covers up with 11:35 to go here in the second period. Zephyr still clinging to the 2-0 lead, but the Tigers were threatening there for sure, getting their first solid chances of the period. Shots on goal now reading 11-9 in favor of the Zephyrs, meaning that in this period alone thus far, not even 6 minutes into it, the Zephyrs have already put 8 shots on goal, whereas the Tigers have only put up 2 shots this period, as they had 7 at the end of one. Nobody really wanted to pick up the puck there as it drifted around a little bit. Finally claimed by Will Brown for the Tigers, but it's turned over quickly to the Zephyrs. Coming back down the other way is Peterson and Johnson, the top line for the Zephyrs. Johnson gets it coming down, pinching hard for the Zephyrs as Cav Brunner rips the slap shot, but it gets by Huotari down into the corner. Huotari with 9 saves so far for the Tigers. And Dardish with all 9 saves on 9 shots for the Zephyrs. I am most definitely not going to say anything about shutouts for Dardish because we had an incident a year ago where we covered a game with Matamidai, one of our announcers. He'll remain unnamed. Hold that thought. Coming down here, quick Johnson on a break. Doesn't quite get through. It hits Huotari in the blocker. Ricochets up into the netting, and we get a stoppage. That was a real solid chance there for Johnson, as Adam Johnson caught the puck at the far blue line, drifted down the right side, came in on Huotari, was looking for the top left corner, and Huotari won that round with the quick blocker. As mentioned a year ago, one of our announcers mentioned Dardis posting shutouts, and immediately after he said that, the Tartan Titans were able to score a goal. One of the biggest jinxes I've ever seen, so you will not hear me say that word in any shape, way, fashion, or form unless it becomes incredibly obvious. Another stoppage here as the puck drifts into the glove of Huotari, and we will get another faceoff to his right. Both teams changing lines now as the Zephyrs roll out Haycraft, Berglund, and Glension, what I believe to be their third line, but at the point is Newbeck, who's the top line defenseman for the Zephyrs. So a little top defense with third line action rolling out here for Coach Poschel. Lommel picks it up for the Tigers and sends it out to center. Carried in now for the Tigers. Adam Brown brings it down the left side. Thrown out front to tip their attempt out front. I don't think Dardis saw that coming in. It just kind of seemed to surprise him as it hit him in the leg. That was Colin Pettit, a defenseman for the Tigers, standing right in front of him. Interesting that he had drifted down so far looking for the tipped attempt, but it almost paid off for the Tigers as there was a shot from the point that came in and he tipped it and it ricocheted off his leg just in the slightest bit. Great save there for Dardis. I gotta wonder if that was luck more than anything. I'm honestly not sure if he saw it or not. Zephyrs roll out the line of Wolsfeld, Grove, and Drag. All sophomores, I believe, by the looks of it, as a shot gets thrown on there by Drag. And the easy save made by Huotari, hit him right in the chest. Zephyrs win the draw again, but it didn't quite make it all the way back to the D, so the Tigers will carry it out. Tigers now throw it in deep behind the Zephyr goal. 9 minutes now to go remaining in the second period. A little D-to-D action at the top of the point for the Tigers, but it is turned over there and carrying it into the Tiger zone as Wolfsfeld's flying down the left wing, but he gets steered aside at the last second. Puck thrown out to the center. Couldn't quite be handled there by Drag, and it's picked up and brought back around. A lot of offensive time here for the third line for the Zephyrs as a beautiful centering attempt just too far, but the defense picks it up, brings it in, and a great sliding stop there from the Tigers, laying out to stop that shot. They got ice. He'll be good. He'll pick it up afterwards. Tigers now carried out to center, looking for the pass to the streaking winning around the far side, but couldn't get through the Matamidi defense. Turned around now and carried in for the Tigers is Will Brown, tries to get a shot off. Now brought out to the point. Oja gets it, loses it quickly. And the Tigers will regroup as the Zephyrs finish rolling out the line change. Puck now finding its way out to center ice. Oh, that was close. Tigers could have had a 2-on-1 developing, but it looked like it might have hit a skate on the way out. I think the refs are probably debating if it was too many men on the ice, honestly, although not much of a discussion coming, because what looked like it happened was the skate of the player getting off the ice was still hanging over the boards when the puck hit it. If the player had been on the ice in any fashion, it would have been too many men because he would have not exactly handled the puck, but he still would have diverted the puck's direction while he was on the ice, resulting in a too many men penalty. The play continues 5-on-5 action as the puck finds its way behind Ben Dardis in the Zephyr zone. Sent back out the far side now. This is Peterson flying down the far way. He's centered. Johnson was there on the far side. I don't know how Huotari made that save. Big save for the Tigers coming through now to keep things only at 2-0. Zephyrs now look to gain control. Can't quite get it out of their own zone. Puck is thrown from behind the net out front into the crease, and we get a stoppage as the net is knocked off of its moorings. It looked like there was a bit of a ruckus in front as the puck was thrown out there, and while there was a scramble for it between the Matamidi defenseman and the Tiger forward, things got knocked off a little bit. Style of play for these teams seems to be kind of similar. I'm not really seeing one side more than the other throwing heavy hits or playing physically. You're not seeing a ton of penalties. There's only been one thus far on the side of the Tigers back at the beginning of this period. Both teams instead relying on clean passes through the middle and trying to get quality chances out in front of the net. A lot of setups where two corners in the ends and one guy out front, because we've seen a lot of centering attempts at a guy in the middle from both teams. Zephyrs now showing flashes of speed. There it was again. You had the wing flying down the far side and two posted up center. Try for the centering attempt, couldn't quite get it. Cleared out to the middle now. The Zephyrs get it. Reverse the ice and flying down the far side is Haycraft. Haycraft centers looking for Galunchen out front. Galunchen wasn't quite able to get a stick on it, so it deflected out to the middle zone. Tigers now pick it up. That's Oja flying in. Brings it in behind the Zephyr goal. It's picked up there by Newbeck. Oh, making a fancy move through the middle around that defender for the Zephyrs. I can't quite tell the number from here. That was Adam Johnson, I do believe. No, correction, it was JD Metz who made that defender look silly. And the Zephyrs are able to use that, carry it all the way back down into the zone. Fought for behind the net now. 6 minutes remaining here in the second period as the Tigers will carry it out to center. Couldn't quite handle it there. And they finally get control, carried into the Zephyr zone. Centering attempt, shot there from the Tigers. Collings didn't get through. Another attempt, but great stick on it there for the Zephyrs. And the puck will now get carried behind the net. Doggett there for the Zephyrs, laying on a big hit. Student section certainly likes that. As the Tigers slow things down a bit, puck is thrown out in front. Shot put on there by Halonen. And Dardis was up to the task. 15 shots on goal now for the Zephyrs to 11 for the Tigers. As we get another one, make that 16 for the Zephyrs. And Huotari will hold on and slow things down for a face-off coming in the defensive zone. Tigers win the draw there. They control and bring it out. 3-on-2 developing if they want, but couldn't quite get a handle on it, so it'll be played behind the Zephyr net and picked up there by the Tigers. Shot from the point taken. Dardis makes a save, steers to the corner. Centering attempt, and Pinoniemi couldn't quite get the stick on it, so the Tigers will look to regroup all the way down the ice. No icing here. And things will really get settled down as Peterson defends for the Zephyrs and waits for the Tigers to break it out up the ice. That's Keranen who carried it out for the Tigers. And that long, slow developing play didn't really result in much for the Tigers as the Zephyrs are able to maintain control, bring it through neutral ice and back down the ice. This is Cav Brunner for the Zephyrs as they are offsides. Folks, you can always check out our social media pages for everything SCC Sports, having to do with the Matamidi Zephyrs, Tartan Titans, and White Bear Lake Bears. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Twitter at SCC TV Sports. All our other methods, Suburban Community channels. We post highlights, stats, updates, scores, everything you could possibly want from all of our schools across Suburban Community channels. The Tigers maintain possession now as they get through center ice and get a shot on goal. Backhanded attempt there from Oja. Got through and Dardis was able to steer it into the corner. Coming back the other way now, Berglund has one of the goals for the Zephyrs. He's looking for another. Carries it into the zone. Picked up there by Haycraft. And it ends up all the way back down the other side. The Zephyrs will slow things down there. It's picked up by JD Metz. Brought back all the way down the ice. He was looking for the coast-to-coast stuff. but it didn't quite work here. Probably works in practice, but not against the teams that they'll be playing. Fought for in the corner now. Zephyrs and Tigers on top of it. Metz there's the one to poke it through. Picked up there by the Tigers as they try to establish something out front, but instead the Zephyrs will turn, flip it all the way down the ice, and it will result in an icing. JD Metz, mentioned his name a couple of times, listed as forward and defense. He, a year ago, was another one of the Zephyrs that scored in the state quarterfinal matchup between these two teams. He provided what was eventually the game winner, scoring the third goal for the Zephyrs on their way to a 5-2 win. A couple other guys scoring for the Zephyrs in that game. Nikolai Dulac, Colin Hagstrom, of course, have moved on. Hagstrom playing lacrosse for the Notre Dame Irish, I do believe. So graduated a couple of top pieces, but nonetheless, the Zephyrs bringing back a lot of guys, tossing in a couple of new names as well, and they have retooled and have come out to another strong start to the season. As we get a penalty called here, couldn't quite tell who it was on. Looks like a Zephyr is headed for the penalty box, though, as he will take 2 minutes in the sin bin. And that is Cav Brunner, who will get the gate the first time for the Matamidi Zephyrs in this game. It looked like there was a trip-up that happened in the corner as the Tiger was trying to chase for it. Brunner was there trying to get the puck, but his stick ended up in the skates of the player instead. So the Tigers will get their first opportunity on the power play with 2:30 remaining in the second period, hoping to put one in here and get a little momentum going into the third for themselves. The Tigers thus far on the season, 7 for 28 on the power play, which is 25% on the power play for them. Penalty kill for the Zephyrs has been very good, 18 of 21, 85% on the penalty kill thus far this season. They've been very good, only giving up 3 goals this entire season on the power play. Hoping to kill off another one here, as the Tigers will bring it out from behind their net, start down into the Zephyr zone. Jesse Peterson will carry it in. The Zephyrs set up the box. All the way around the Zephyr net, for the centering attempt to a streaking Oja, who is going down by the Zephyr net. But nothing going. The Tigers now with the centering attempt out front. That's steered aside by Dardis. Stick lifted there. Berglund and Biersdorf. Biersdorf, haven't said his name yet, rolling out there on the penalty kill. Poschel giving him a little opportunity to play. And good for him. That was a great penalty kill for him. As they cycle the lines and he gets off. Great first shift for him, from what I can tell, on the penalty kill. Killed off a solid minute 30 of that one. As the Tigers carry it into the zone, turned aside there by Tony Neubeck, sent back down the ice. And the Tigers will look to regroup again. Craig Halonen now picking it up behind the net, but the Zephyrs rushing in there really fast, showing off his speed, is JD Metz, bringing it all the way down around the net, killing off as much of this penalty as he can, getting it back out to center, gets it out to his teammate, who dishes it down the ice. Penalty has been killed. The Zephyrs are back to full strength. 35 seconds to go in the second period, as the Tigers carry it into the zone, look for a centering attempt, but it's again turned aside by the Zephyr defense. Zephyr defense stout all night, not letting many shots get through, lifting a bunch of sticks out front, and it has paid off for them tremendously. Shot now from the point for the Zephyrs gets steered aside. Didn't quite make it all the way to Huotari, as they will look to turn it around now as Adam Johnson carries it in, gets a shot off, and it's held in the blocker there by Huotari. So after all is said and done there, 3 seconds remaining in the second period, the Zephyrs successfully killed off the Tiger power play, and we are left with a 2-0 lead for the Zephyrs, which, barring a miracle here on this faceoff, I'm assuming will carry into the third period. The Zephyrs, assuming that does in fact happen, when leading after 2 periods this season, have a perfect 5-0 record on the year. And the Tigers, when trailing after 2 periods on the season, have an 0-2 record. So things certainly looking good for the Zephyrs as they have the 2-0 lead after 2 periods of play. Shots on goal stand at 18 for the Zephyrs and 14 for the Tigers for the 2-period total, meaning in that period the Zephyrs mustered 15 shots on goal in comparison to only 3 in the first period, and the Tigers had 7 shots on goal that period, splitting the difference. 7 shots on goal in the first period, 7 shots on goal in the second period. We'll take a quick break here for the second intermission, after which we'll be back for what is shaping up to be an incredibly interesting and exciting third period here at the St. Croix Valley Rec Center. You're watching Matamidi Zephyrs boys hockey here on SGC Sports. getting set here now for the third period. The Matamidi Zephyrs have taken the ice as they have a 2-0 lead over the visiting Delano Tigers. From here at the St. Croix Valley Rec Center in beautiful Stillwater, Minnesota, I am David Schuyler, sports producer, joined by Steven Adams, my camera operator, as we bring you Matamidi Zephyrs boys hockey. The Zephyrs currently sitting at number 3 in Class A. Number 1, I believe, is still Hermantown. I wish I had the entire top 10 listed next to me. And number 2 is Gentry Academy. Gentry has loaded up, and they are certainly steamrolling their opponents this year and are looking like the force to be reckoned with, and the team that will probably challenge Matamidi the most in Section 4A when it comes to postseason play, assuming that Section play plays out the way that it quote-unquote normally does. I'm not really sure what sections will look like with COVID going on. If I've heard a rumor that the highest seeds will always have home ice so as to not make teams travel too far, but we'll see what happens when we get there. And the puck is dropped, and we are underway for the third period. As the Zephyrs have it back in their defensive zone to start things off. Carried out behind their net now and brought out to center as the Tigers take over, and a huge hit is laid there by Tony Newbeck onto Brad Pinoniemi for the Tigers. He was shaken up a little slow to get up. Back into things now. Scrum for the puck here now at the top of the Zephyr zone as the puck is brought back out. Pinoniemi rips a shot, and Ben Dardis is up to the task. Interesting silhouette of light now coming in here as the sun sets in Stillwater, as the sun is right at Dardis' back, creating quite the glare on the ice right in front of him. Hopefully that doesn't mess with his vision at all or anything. As we get ready for the faceoff, Peterson lines up there for the Tigers, wins it back, but the Zephyrs take control as Haycraft races down the left wing and brings it all the way into the Tiger zone and brought back around. Puck now carried behind the Tiger net. Centering attempt there from Haycraft. He gets it, and I thought I saw it bounce off the bottle at the top of the goal, but I guess not. It must have hit the goalie, Huotari, and bounced right back down. So the Tigers now regroup and come back out to center as they maintain possession. Can't quite get a hand on it out in front. Nobody's able to find it, and it's kicked out to the corner. Battle for it there in the corner as Berglund and Grant Dardis fight for the puck. Brought back up by the Zephyrs now. Tried to throw back in by the Tigers, but it's carried all the way back out by Grant Dardis, and he tosses it down into the Tiger zone back behind the net. 15 minutes to go here in period number 3. 18 shots for the Zephyrs, 16 shots for the Tigers. And we are back to our usual back and forth action that we have been seeing in this pretty well-balanced game we've seen thus far. These teams fairly evenly matched, but Matamidi they've had just the extra step, gotten a couple of bounces to go their way late at the end of the first period. First, it was Tony Newbeck who scored for the Zephyrs with just under 2:30 remaining, and then 30 seconds later, it was Ryan Berglund who put the Zephyrs up 2-0, and that's how we've sat. No scoring in the second period. Now into the third. And things sit here. The ever-dangerous 2-goal lead for the Zephyrs as we start this third period. 3 minutes into thing now as the Tigers carry it into the zone. Bring it back behind the Zephyr net. Try to throw it out front. A big hit was laid in the corner there, and Dardis is able to cover up. That was Coppin, the freshman second-line defenseman who brought the puck all the way into the zone for the Tigers. Tried to get the shot off, but it couldn't quite get through. Dardis has looked really solid in net, stopping all 16 of the Tiger shots that have gone his way. Hasn't really had too many problems with any of them, giving up any juicy rebounds. Have not been a lot of chances at all for the Tigers. 2-on-1 now the other way for the Zephyrs. Coming in is Duxton. Huotari thought he had it, but he couldn't quite track it down. I thought he scored there. Duxton came all the way back around. He started celebrating. I wish there were cameras on top of the goal the way they have in the NHL, because I almost started celebrating right there with him. The way that shot came, it looked like it went up and bounced off the water bottle at the top of the goal as Huotari gloves and hangs onto it. But I'm not sure Duxton was in the wrong starting his celebration there, because that puck, it's possible that it hit the crossbar and came down, but I would think the pace at which that shot was released towards the net that it would have made a really loud clang. In any case, it remains 2-0, and we get a face-off in the Tiger zone. Puck now sent all the way down the ice, and we will get an icing. For the Zephyrs coming up after they take on the Tigers, they had a big win last night, or Thursday night as well, 2-1 over Orono, but coming up, they have some stiff competition as they face AA teams St. Michael Albertville, and then St. Thomas Academy, and then Eden Prairie. Eden Prairie currently ranked, I believe it is number 3 in AA, behind Maple Grove, sitting at number 1. But nonetheless, the Eden Prairie Eagles are very high-powered, made it to state last year, lost in the state tournament to the Hill Mary Pioneers, who the Matamidi Zephyrs have faced off with twice this year. But those will certainly be tough teams to face in the upcoming week. And then they get back into conference play, doing a home-and-home with Hastings, South St. Paul, Tartan, and close things out with St. Paul Johnson and St. Thomas Academy on their calendar before we get into section play. Certainly a tough schedule for the Zephyrs this year. But they have proven that they can compete with the top teams, as they've had very close games with the likes of Hill Murray and Benilde St. Margaret's. And they have beaten Breck, Orono, Hudson, the top team in Wisconsin, and now leading the Delano Tigers 2-0 as the puck is carried behind the Matamidi net. Kind of a weird tangle going on there as Collings has his arm wrapped around the Zephyr defender, knocks him down there. That is Grant Dardis behind the net who gets pushed over. Berglund picks it up for the Zephyrs and chips it out as they carry it out now. Flying through center ice. There's Beersdorf for the Zephyrs, who tried to get a shot, but it is steered into the corner by the Tigers. 11:40 remaining here in the last period of play. Tigers have had a couple of chances, but Dardis has stood strong. And another one of those periods where we're not seeing a lot of sustained offensive zone pressure for either of the teams. A lot of back and forth action thus far. For Delano, on the other side, their upcoming schedule, they will take on Waconia, Bloomington Jefferson, Litchfield, Dasso, Cokato, and Orono in the upcoming games. Orono, the common opponent for both of these teams, as Matamidi played them Thursday night and beat them 2-1. Earlier in the season, Delano faced off against Orono, and Orono came away with the victory 3-2 in that game, but also a very close one. So close one-goal games for both of these teams against common opponent Orono. Orono also in Section 2A with the Tigers. Common thoughts as the fans do a lot of heckling there. They didn't seem to like the shoveling that was going on in front of the net there, in front of their goalie Huotari. Common thought seems to be that the Tigers and the Spartans will be competing for the top spot in Section 2A when it comes to the end of the year. Breck could also be up there. They're a tough team to play against. The Delano Tigers actually lost to Breck 4-3 not too long ago, back on February 2nd. Certainly a lot of close games, a lot of stiff competition coming out of Section 2A this year. Section 4A, Gentry Academy and Matamidi are probably the two to lead the way, but you certainly can't look past teams like SEC's own Tartan Titans. They faced off against Hill Murray as we get an offsides here. They faced off against Hill Murray earlier this week and skated to a 2-1 decision in that one. A great game from their goalie, Tori Gris Gaines. crease gains, as they were actually beating the Pioneers 1-0 after one period. And the Pioneers were able to get 2 in the second, but a real tough battle there for the Titans against a top team in Class AA and the Metro East, of course, the Hill Murray Pioneers. Taking a look at those Metro East standings, St. Thomas Academy sits at the top with 12 points. Hill Murray and Hastings follow them. Tartan in the middle. South St. Paul Simley. Matamida is actually at the bottom of the standings, surprisingly, but that's deceiving for a number of reasons. One, because with COVID, the scheduling is certainly different this year. Two, because they've placed a lot of stiff competition outside of their conference and just haven't played a lot of games in their conference thus far. Two of the 3 games in conference being those Hill Murray Pioneers that we mentioned. Tigers control the puck through neutral now as they bring it up, and a big hit there laid down by Carter Haycraft as he just simply tossed Pinoniemi to the side right at the blue line, and the Tigers get whistled for offsides. Face-off coming here right outside the Zephyr zone. 10 minutes to go here in the third period. Tigers need to start generating some offensive chances if they want to remain in this one, if they want to get the one goal to stay behind by one. To get behind by one, rather. But the Zephyrs defense has simply been locked down tonight, haven't given up much. Puck battled for here in the corner. Coming away with that is somebody who's not on. Oh, there he is, Will Brown for the Tigers as he gets the puck and drops it down to his own stick. Tried to get the shot off quick, but wasn't fast enough. Battled for now here in the corner for the Tigers there is Jack Keranen. The defenseman comes away with it and rings it around the Zephyr boards. The Zephyrs will continue back out with a pass to the far wing. That's David Wolsfeld that picks it up and sends it back into the zone for the Zephyrs. First time we've said Wolsfeld's name in this game, so a couple of guys. That was awfully close to offsides if you ask me, but play continues and Dardis comes up with a big glove save there for the Zephyrs. Looking tall in the net thus far as the puck is brought out. Shot gets sent wide by Brayden Coppin for the Tigers. That one just gets sent clear up into the rafters. Tried to play it off the glass there, but couldn't quite get it through as a fan picks it up and sends it back in. Might have glanced off a light, honestly, here at the top of the rafters. So a face-off in the Zephyrs defensive zone to the left of Dardis. Coming to the dot for the Tigers is Tyler Selstad, the top line center. But the Zephyrs won the drop. Shot on goal sent there by Selstad. The Tigers seem to be throwing whatever they can at the net now, hoping to get one to break through. But the Zephyrs regroup now, and carrying the puck out is Duxon. He'll get it up to center. Carried in down into the defensive zone there. From the top of the point now, shot gets sent down. Looking for a redirection there was Johnson. He's joined by Peterson, who picks it up, sends it back up to the top. Newbeck gets it. Jukes waited, threw it in right into a Tiger defenseman who brings it back out. 3-on-2 now for the Tigers if they hurry. But it was offsides. Getting a little too far ahead of himself was Brad Pinoniemi. There was a big chance developing there for the Tigers, but they couldn't quite stay on sides. So we'll get another face-off here coming right outside the Matamidi zone. Puck now being brought up, played at the top of the Zephyr point, carried in down the left side. Centering attempt from the Tigers. Wide open look there for them, but they couldn't quite pull the trigger. Missed the handle on that one. Pass sent down now to the left wing. Tried for the centering attempt rather than taking the shot, and it is steered to the corner where the Zephyrs get it and flip it back out. Carried on the left side is Ryan Berglund with one goal so far. He gets it, crashes the net, flips it right over the glove of Huotari, and the Zephyrs get a little insurance here with 7:46 remaining in the third period. It's Berglund with his second goal of the game. My goodness, it looked like the Zephyrs were simply trying to get a clearing attempt out to center ice. I thought he was just going to dump it in, but Berglund simply blew right by the Tiger defender. came in down the left wing, flipped a shot over the glove of Huotari, who looked like he wasn't expecting it at all, and it is a 3-0 lead for the Zephyrs. So the Zephyrs add a little insurance here and seem to have a little bit more spark in their step as we get past the halfway point of the third period. That was a huge goal for Matamidi. What a great play for them. Brent Galenshin getting the secondary assist on the Ryan Berglund goal. Couldn't quite make out who the first assist came to, but nonetheless, the Zephyrs find themselves with a 3-goal lead here with under 7 minutes remaining, and we get a whistle as an interference penalty is called, and it will be Duxon heading to the box for the Matamidi Zephyrs. Didn't quite get the chance to see what happened there. I think he just got tangled a little bit in front of the Zephyr goal. So he will sit for 2 minutes. And the Tigers will get their second crack at the power play this game. No luck for them on the first one back in the second period. What a great opportunity for them here if they want to start chipping into this Matamidi Zephyrs lead. Working around to the top of the point now is Adam Brown. Gets it across to his defensive partner, looking for the pass. It's redirected. Dardis with a huge save as that was deflected out front. It went right in the middle between the circles and got deflected into his pad, kicked off to the side, and the Zephyrs will try to possess there as there's a scrum. That's Peterson in the corner trying to kick it out. And tracking it down in the corner there is Metz, who rings it around, but getting to it first for the Tigers is Jack Keranen. 3 Zephyrs now in the corner fight for it. Berglund there tying up Keranen, and the Zephyrs are able to clear it out to center ice, picked up by Selstad and brought back into the offensive zone for the Tigers. Picking it up behind the net is Neubeck. He will try to send it out, but he is stopped there by Selstad. Selstad gets it back out. A great opportunity here on the far side. Big save by Dardis. And then we get a whistle. I believe the net is off its moorings. So a quick sequence there for the Tigers to generate a good opportunity. A shot came in from the far circle, but Dardis stood tall, and then the net was kicked off, so we will get a stoppage. Face-off coming to the right side. Second power play unit rolling out now for the Tigers with 52 seconds to go here in the man advantage. And now the Zephyrs finally clear it down the ice. Coppin picks it up there for the Tigers. They will reset as they look to gain neutral ice and bring it back into the Zephyr zone. Coppin now brings it all the way in, fires a shot on goal. Probably would have gone wide if Dardis hadn't gloved it, but it never hurts to pad the stats a little bit. 22 shots on goal for the Matamidi Zephyrs, 19 for Dardis. Perfect 19 saves for him thus far. 19 saves for Huotari as well, over on the Tigers' end of things. And we will get the face-off here, kicked out to the top. Coppin walks it around to the middle of the point, gets it right back from his wing partner, who sends it down. Dardis made the save with the blocker. Standing tall in goal as Huotari comes out to play it, sends it to the far D, who gets it brought back around by Paulson now. Back up to center. Paulson carries it in. Peterson for the Tigers couldn't quite get a handle on it, so on the other side, it's Ethan Peterson coming down now for the Matamidi Zephyrs. Ethan Peterson threw it out front. It was redirected by Johnson and went just wide. Under 5 minutes to go now as we've hit 4:35 and counting remaining in the third period. Still 3-0 lead for the Matamidi Zephyrs. Adam Johnson now pursuing the Tigers' Jesse Peterson. Peterson lets a long slap shot fly that went nowhere near the goal. So the Zephyrs will gain possession of the puck there and turn it back around. Duxon now carries all the way in for the Zephyrs and fires a shot. Couldn't quite connect though, as Peterson now gets it to Johnson, down low, back to Peterson, and Peterson couldn't quite pull the trigger. Great defensive play there from the Tigers on that one. I believe that was Keranen. Couldn't quite tell though who steered it aside for the Tigers, denying the chance from Johnson and Ethan Peterson for the Matamidi Zephyrs. Shout out to Ethan Peterson's mom, Kimberly, who practically made this entire thing happen. A huge help to us as we set things up here, helped us get our internet situated, handled all the roster scheduling, all that stuff. Thank you very much to her for notifying us of the game and making it so we could be here. And of course for her lovely gesture of allowing the senior classmates of the Matamidi Zephyrs players to be here to cheer on their classmates. So thank you very much, Kimberly Peterson, for all your assistance making this broadcast possible from SCC Sports. As there was an opportunity there for the Zephyrs, I couldn't quite make out what happened. I thought we might have had a penalty called because it looked like somebody had run into the goalie, and there was a lot of pushing and shoving and hollering afterwards, but it looks like nothing will come of it. 3:25 to go now here in the third period as we get a face-off just outside the Tigers zone between Ryan Berglund for the Zephyrs and Will Brown for the Tigers. Flipped all the way down into the Zephyr zone. Now will not be icing as it was touched there by Grant Dardis. Tigers maintain possession now. Get the puck behind the Zephyrs net, and it's carried out by Grant Dardis. Sent out to center now. If the Zephyrs hurry, they could possibly get a 2-on-1, but it's carried all the way down, sent all the way down into the corner of the Tiger zone. Picked up there by Pettit for the Tigers, as the Tigers are running out of time and running out of it fast. Collings gets stood up there at center ice, so the Zephyrs will maintain possession in their own end. Their defense has been absolutely stout in this game. Not letting a whole lot get through to Ben Dardis, doing a lot of block shots, lifting a bunch of sticks where they needed to, making sure nothing gets through the center of the ice. A great effort from them tonight thus far. Puck now sent to the point, and it will be turned around by Jack Keranen. They're carried all the way in as he tries to get a shot, but that was steered aside once again. Back into the corner behind the net. Now back out top. Keranen tried to throw it deep, but that is taken away by Ryan Berglund for the Zephyrs. And then tossed back out to center, where Haycraft will get it and toss it down the length of the ice. Back into the Zephyr zone now behind their net. It's Tony Newbeck who gets it and tosses it back out. Top line back out there as we come to the end of the game for the Matamidi Zephyrs. That is Ethan Peterson, Adam Johnson, and Dylan Duxon, who's been leading the way for them all game. Ethan Peterson camped out in front looking for a pass. Can't quite get it from Newbeck. Newbeck and J.D. Metz at the point have been stellar for the Zephyrs, clearing things out, generating offense, stout defense, keeping things away from Ben Dardis all night. A real solid defensive effort all around for the Matamidi Zephyrs. Glove save for Ben Dardis, which puts a bit of an exclamation point on his effort for the evening. That is the Tigers' 21st shot on goal. All 21 have been saved by Ben Dardis as the fans start the buses chant for the Delano Tigers. Certainly not impossible for them to generate something, as they will in fact use their timeout here and look to set up a play in the Zephyrs defensive zone. 1:04 remaining here in the third period. Coach Poschel will look things over with his team. The line of Berglund, Beersdorf, and I couldn't quite tell who the third was rolling out there for them. On the flip side, for the Delano Tigers, Coach Van Bergen, will talk through his players and try to set things up real quick. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they pulled Huotari with 1:04 remaining, but a 3-goal deficit might be a bit much. Could be just trying to set something up instead. So for the Zephyrs there, we have Beersdorf, Berglund, and Decker who will take the ice and look to defend here in their end. Probably drawing up a play where they'll win the puck back and then ring it all the way around the boards as hard as they can. Everything starts with the face-off wins. Everything starts with it. Your play is going to completely fall apart if you don't get the face-off win, but no doubt Postal's telling his players to stick with their man. Clear away the front of the ice. Make sure you're lifting sticks. If you win the draw, get it out to center ice as fast as possible. If you lose the draw, stick to your man like glue. As they do, in fact, win it back. And there's a little bit of a scrum, and the puck is kicked out there. Brought back into the Zephyr zone behind the goal as we get the 1 minute remaining announcement. Thank you very much. Puck centered for the Tigers. It's kicked. Oh, yeah. And that right there was Pinoniemi, as he had the entire net to look at, but fired the puck well wide. 38 seconds and counting now as the puck gets sent down behind the Zephyr zone. Chased there into the corner by Ty Decker, getting some of, I believe, his first ice time. Certainly haven't said his name much. As the puck there sent all the way down the ice, we get a whistle. As behind the play, we get a penalty. I think there might have been a rather fierce discussion going on here as we get two players skating off the ice for the Tigers. Arguing his case is Adam Brown, who is no doubt frustrated. On the flip side, I couldn't quite catch the number for the Zephyrs. I think it might. No, it's not Newbeck, as he's out there. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell the number of the guy who got the gate for the Zephyrs. In any case, the goalie has indeed been pulled for the Tigers. Tommy Huotari will take a seat on the bench. So we'll have 6-on-5 coming. Would have been 5-on-5 as the ref explains things to Coach Van Bergen over there. Probably asking him, he's gesturing in his zone. It might be an explanation of what's going on with the goalie being pulled. I'm not entirely sure what's being said. Regardless, we'll get the face-off at center ice. Berglund matching up against Peterson. Correction, Selstad. Selstad and Berglund matching up. Draw is won there by Berglund. Brought back. He's been great in the dots all night, honestly. It seems like the Zephyr players all around have been great in the faceoff dots, allowing them to set up their plays, get their chances, and 3-0 lead. Clock winds down here. The Tigers will look for one last chance. Will not get it as the puck is sent behind the net. Picked up there, and that will do it as the buzzer sounds. And the Matamidi Zephyrs get the 3-0 victory over the Delano Tigers here this February afternoon. A great effort for the Matamidi Zephyrs. 21 shots on goal from the Delano Tigers, 21 saves for Ben Dardis as he picks up his second shutout of the year. I can finally say that now. I've been waiting to mention it all night. And we get our what's become routine COVID salute from the two players. A fantastic matchup between these two teams. We'll see what happens later. You never know what could happen when it comes to section and state play. But I look forward to seeing a lot more great stuff from these two teams as the season carries on. Thank you very much, folks, for joining us here on Suburban Community Channels. I am David Schuyler, the sports producer at SCC. Over here we got Steven Adams, who's been running camera for me all night. He did a fantastic job. Back at Master Control is Dean Gross. Jeffrey Wilson did so much to make this happen. A special shout out and thank you very much to him for getting all the equipment together and making sure that we could finally do this broadcast. Once again, from the St. Croix Valley Rec Center in Stillwater, Minnesota, it is the Matamidi Zephyrs 3 and the Delano Tigers 0. Have a good night, folks.